Plaza de la Constitucion used to be the ceremonial hub of the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan and was once named Plaza de Armas. Residents began calling it the Zocalo, which means base, after plans for an independence monument went unrealized, leaving only the pedestal. Nowadays, it is flanked by significant and emblematic buildings like the Metropolitan Cathedral and the Palacio Nacional. Palacios de Bellas Artes was inaugurated in 1934 and became Mexico's first art museum. The building itself is principally Art Nouveau on the exterior and Art Deco on the interior. Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe is Mexico's national shrine, which houses the cloak containing the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. A shrine was built in 1709 near the hill of Tepeyac, where the Virgin Mary is believed to have appeared to Juan Diego, a 57-year-old indigenous Mexican man. The basilica itself was completed in 1974. Teotihuacan, which means the city of the gods, is an ancient Mesoamerican city and is the site of the most architecturally significant Mesoamerican pyramids built in the pre-Columbian Americas. Its most important structures are the Pyramid of the Moon and the Pyramid of the Sun. which means flower garden, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its canals are reminders of the Aztec agricultural technique of using raised agricultural fields between canals. Nowadays, its claim to fame is the boat ride through the canals in brightly colored flat-bottomed boats called trajineras. On the ride, one may encounter other trajineras selling food, and some others offering mariachi entertainment.
Una piedra del camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar. También me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber
The family home of Frida Kahlo was converted into a museum in 1958, 4 years after her death. The museum is also known as the Blue House for the building's cobalt blue walls. The building was Frida's birthplace, the home where she grew up and lived with her husband Diego Rivera, and where she later died in a room on the upper floor. Cholula's Great Pyramid is the largest pyramid ever built in human history. This ancient temple could easily be mistaken for a church on a hill scene, as its body is now buried in greenery, and a Catholic church, Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de los Remedios, sits on its top. Taxco is a charming colonial town nestled in the mountains between Mexico City and Acapulco. Its winding cobblestone streets, whitewashed houses with red tile roof, and its 2,000-year-old cathedral make it a lovely and picturesque place. It is the silver capital of Mexico for its mining of silver and for the crafting of it into jewelry. Santa Prisca Cathedral is one of Mexico's grandest and most beautiful churches, with its 2 stone towers, a wide dome, and intricate finishes. Its front facade is carved from pink sandstone, which becomes more decorative towards the high reaches of the 2 bell towers. Its interior has 9 floor-to-ceiling altar pieces, all covered in gold. Its main altarpiece is dedicated to the church's 2 patron saints, Santa Prisca and San Sebastian. Puebla is considered to be the cradle of Mexican Baroque, both in architecture and in the decorative arts. Its historic center is filled with churches, monasteries, mansions, and buildings, mostly done in gray cantera stone, red brick, and multicolored tiles. The Puebla Cathedral is a spectacular 16th century church of colonial origin that rises above the center of the city. Its exceptional interior contains many artistic and ecclesiastical artifacts that are found in its 14 lateral chapels and the main altar. Cuernavaca Cathedral is the main church of what was the monastery of the Franciscans that dates back to the 16th century. Its complex consists of a walled compound with a main church, the cloister, and several chapels. San Miguel de Allende is a colonial-era city in Mexico's Central Highlands, around 170 miles from Mexico City. It is famous for its Baroque architecture, thriving art scene, and cultural festivals. Parroquia de San Miguel Arcangel lies in the city's cobblestone center with its dramatic pink towers rising above the main plaza El Jardín. It is one of the most photographed churches in Mexico, and the two tall towers of its neo-Gothic facade can be seen from most parts of the town. Iglesia de San Rafael is located on the side of the parish. Its facade has two levels, with arches, pilasters, floral motifs, and a frieze on the first level, and on the second level, a choir window framed by pink sandstone. Its bell tower is Moorish. Iglesia de San Francisco's exterior is elaborately carved and topped by the image of St. Francis of Assisi. Below are a crucifix and dozens of limestone sculptures of angels and saints. Its interior, on the other hand, is rather stark.